Well, I'm kind of annoyed now because this is like the 5th time I've had to do this video, and this is kind of pissing me off, but we'll start this over again. So, I'm doing an OCD awareness video. I have severe obsessive compulsive disorder myself. Now, obsessive compulsive disorder is not a disorder that annoys, it's a disorder that tortures. It's not just what you see on TV, it literally tortures you. Your own mind tortures you. Something shouldn't exist in this world, but it does. Let me explain. This is just an example. So say a normal person touches dirty surface. They're like, I just make sure I don't touch my eyes. I can, go wash my hands later. It'll be fine. Brain lets go. Someone with OCD's brain gets stuck on that. You can't let go. Or not necessarily on that. If your OCD centers on that fear, that's what it gets stuck on. It can be on anything. Fear. So now, someone with OCD touches that surface. Your brain goes, oh no! What if I get this disease? What if I die? Like, what if your brain's racing? Immediately, it feels like a life or death situation. Like, your anxiety's racing. You're filled with uncertainty. Your brain feels so uncertain. So uncertain that it makes you feel certain that this disaster you fear is going to happen. You feel so, no matter how unlikely it may be. So it makes you feel so uncertain that, like, you may get a disease from it, that you feel certain you're going to get a disease. So you try to reassure yourself that you're not going to, by doing a compulsion or a ritual. So for the person for someone whose OCD centers on that, once they touch it, they might go try to wash their hands. Now, you do it till it feels just right. You compulse till it feels just right. If you don't get this just right feeling to you will spend hours there, and the whole time it feels like life or death situation, like the galaxy will explode if you don't do this. And you feel like you're being forced against your will to do this. Your brain is like slave driver whipping you. So you finally get that reassurance, that just right feeling, your anxiety goes down, you feel like, okay, I'm not going to get it. Because chemically in your head, your brain, once you get it right, your brain makes this feeling, and you feel like normal people feel. Like the guy who just touched it and walked, their brain went, oh, it'll be okay, and walked away. It'll be okay, you get that feeling, but you have to get that just right feeling by compulsing like that. Except, psych though, you just made it worse. Because OCD's a trickster, deceiver, piece of shit bitch. Because now you're doing avoidance rituals, trying not to touch those objects, right? Every time you touch an object, you feel that anxiety, that immediate, like, the world's gonna end, I'm gonna get a disease, I need to fucking do this. Like, what? Like, along with an urge to reassure yourself to prevent it. The more you do this, the stronger it gets, because now you're so scared that you're staying inside the house because you're worried you get it from the air. It's airborne. And every time you contact with outside air, you need to shower and everything till it feels just right, over and over, every single time. And the just right feeling becomes harder and harder to get the more you compulse. So now, over time, that might not be enough. Now the mere thought of getting a disease, if the thought pops in your head, you have to immediately wash your hands, wash up and stuff. The more you give into it, the more it takes. And it's not just easy as like, well, then don't give into it, because your brain's programmed that way. Let me explain something to you. OCD, not compulsing, not doing the thing to like reassure yourself, is like dangling crack in front of a crack addict who hasn't had crack for months on end. And you're like, no, I can't, but I need to. You need to, but you don't, but you do. That's what it feels like inside. It's a torsion. Your fucking brain is so bad. It's the worst feeling ever. So, and to get over OCD, let me explain what therapy is like for OCD. It's like taking a thorn that's in your arm, the thorn being OCD, you're like, Doc, can you help me get this thorn out? The doctor's like, well, no, there's no way to remove it. But we can push it into your flesh until it gets so far under that you don't feel it anymore. But the only way to do that is very slowly and very, very painfully. Because the only way to overcome OCD is to face those fears, to retrain your brain. But it's, okay, so now you have to let yourself get exposed to the thing. Let yourself feel like your world's ending. Let yourself go insane because your brain feels like you're going to die. You want to kill yourself 6 times over. That's how bad it feels. You let that happen now. Yep, just let it happen. Just fucking let it happen. Right. So now you're sitting there freaking out, tortured. You have to try to redivert your attention to something else. Supposedly you're supposed to try it in time periods, like do that, don't compulse for like 5 minutes, Next time, whenever you feel like you can, increase it to 10 minutes maybe, at your own pace. However, the thing about it is, it's not as simple as flipping because it gets worse, and then as you slowly start to do that more and more, you start to realize you don't need to compulse to relieve the anxiety, and it gets better, and then your brain starts reprogramming itself more and more, and your anxiety goes down, and yeah. But it's not as simple as flipping a switch. Then why not, because Jordan, why not just let it get worse, and then it'll get better, why not just do it? Because it's not just easy as flipping a switch. Every single thought you have to manually stop yourself, manually let the torture happen. And now imagine this, and this is not an exaggeration, every single other friggin' thought almost. I have an OCD thing. Like, what if because I thought this wrong I turned gay? Then I feel uncertain. Even though I know I like girls, I feel so uncertain, because it feels wrong to my OCD, and I have nothing against gay people. It's like, I have gay friends, but I don't want to be gay, so I'm freaking out, trying to reassure myself I'm not. And until it's harder and harder to get the just right feeling, the more I do it, and the more I try to reassure myself, the more uncertain I feel. Because OCD is a deceiving little bitch. And letting it sit there is the worst feeling ever. Or what if because I thought, then while that's happening, another thought pops up, I feel like I did it wrong. What if I can't process, I can't see anything right, and I can't process what's happening around me correctly? Now, my vision's fine, my ability to process is fine, but it feels so wrong to me. It makes me feel so bad that I can't stand having my eyes open. I don't even want to be awake. It makes me want to kill myself, literally 6 times over. I want to fucking die. Rather than deal with that. And I can't even bear having my eyes open, but I don't want to go to sleep. I want to fucking live, but I can't, because it's so freaking wrong, and I just can't stand it. So freaking horrible. That's OCD. OCD tortures you. OCD is not something to make fun of on shirts and just go, does this crooked painting bother? Does my fist bother you when it enters your friggin' skull? Because that's what I feel like saying back. So can you please not make those shirts? Alright. That's my OCD awareness video. I hope everyone who has OCD stays strong, because I know the struggle. It does get better. It requires a hell of a lot of effort. This is a peace sign. I don't know why I'm just waving around. But you can do this. And just to throw in a message, even those without OCD with life issues, I've met tons of kids, tons of people through therapy. Everyone's got life issues. I've met kids with horrible issues. It gets better. And you can do this. And I know everyone says keep your head up, it'll be alright in time. It really friggin' will. It's just the torture session to get to that alright period of time is unbearable. It makes you want to kill yourself. But suicide's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I've been there, and I still go there sometimes. I don't want to, but I get it. Just keep on keeping on, whatever you gotta do to get through the day. Alright, peace.